whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on through our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. I'm attorney Gavin Richard. I grew up here in New Orleans, so I know how important family, friends, and community are to us. And helping others has been a lifelong passion of mine. If you've been injured in an accident, you may be out of work and faced with large medical bills. You'll need someone to fight the insurance companies so that you can get on with your life. Give me a call at 504-799-2288, and I'll be with you all the way. The law offices of Gavin M. Richard, going the distance so that justice may be served. Wherever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. The place to be is right here with me. It is Random Topic Thursdays, the hottest live stream on Thursday evenings, or in this case, afternoon. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you are blessed and doing safe. Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents Random Topic Thursdays. I'll be flying solo on today's show, ladies and gentlemen, but it's still going to be an interesting one. So we have the recent developments in the Ahmad Arbor murder trial. That's one of our first topics. We'll also be talking about how the Biden administration agrees to cut HBCU funding. And also we'll be discussing how Urben Meyer, coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, embraces the grind, his version of it. You guys, if you have not, you can check out my channel for Creole Seasoning, NornisCreoleBlends.com. I said channel, I meant website, NornisCreoleBlends.com. That is the website for our seasoning company. We have Nornis Creole Seasoning Blends. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nornis goes great with every dish. This is just a picture of the website you all can see if you have not done so already. I know a few people like Bossa Queenie have purchased their seasoning, so it's pretty good seasoning. I hope you all will enjoy it. Also, we have, if you'd like to support us, we also support me. You can also go to iTunes now and check out Video Soul on iTunes, on Spotify, Amazon as well, and purchase that single. It's an instrumental that I did. And of course, like always, when we talk, before we get started, when we get on down, we got to get on up, which is my single, which is available on Spotify app, on iTunes. You can stream those live if you would like. You guys, let us get started in a second. I'll be coming on in a minute. I hope, I can see that I'm talking well, but I want to know, is the fan bothering you all? Can you hear the wind in the mic? Because I'm doing this in another part of the house. So we'll go ahead and get started in a minute, but I just want to make sure my sound and everything is good. You guys can hear me as I'm talking through you all now, but In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, if we're all good, we're going to go ahead and get started. I hate when this happens. I got to keep signing in. Excuse me. Okay. Hold on one second, guys. I hate when this shit happens. Okay. All right, guys, time to get on up.
Is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up
and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
All right, feel the groove. Get on the floor. Got to get on up, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Kid Gravity. To answer or make a statement about that, I already have an MP4 version of the song, but I like to put the actual link where everybody can go and check it out. So that's why I like doing it from Apple or from iTunes where we're at there. So that's why I do that. But thanks for the heads up. Yeah, so you guys can get on up. Of course, I'm about to get a copyright strike for playing my own song in a minute. Good evening to you all. Let's all get started. Thank y'all for the support. I see Danielle Meyer in here. That's no problem, Danielle. I see Kid Gravity, D Tupman. The D Tupman. How you doing, dear? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. So what shall we discuss first, ladies and gentlemen? I'm flying solo tonight, as you know, because Sean usually comes on, Thursday evenings with me at 8, but we had him come on this Tuesday because a little later I'm going to go out a little bit this evening. So that's why I'm doing this live stream a little early. I want to thank Sean again for coming on at the last minute Tuesday. I appreciate the love that he was doing. Kid Gravity, the email is actually at the link at the bottom. Let me put that there for everyone. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Also, if you can, donate to the Cash App, Gavin Richard Esquire, or go to GooglePay or PayPal. Those are the emails right there, gavin.grich1@gmail.com. I've tried to get you guys to come and support. If you can, donate to the Cash App or to the PayPal, or even if you'd like to do something to the Patreon, that's a way to support me. But I'm trying to, I multitask and do different things. So that's what's going on. But we're going to go ahead and let us get started with what's going on in the latest news. Hope everybody is doing good. Everyone's doing fine. So we got some recent developments now concerning the tragic case of Ahmad Arbor. Now, Ahmad Arbor is not on trial. So I say Ahmad Arbor murder trial because as the victim, he was murdered on camera. He was killed, I should say, for legal purposes, by the Mcmichaels, Gregory Mcmichael and Travis Mcmichael. Travis Mcmichael, of course, was the one who pulled that trigger and killed Ahmad Arbery. Gregory Mcmichael is his father, and a guy by the name of William Roddy Bryan was following close behind and recording the incident from his cell phone. So they're all standing, three of these men, I use that term loosely, are standing trial. These three defendants are standing trial for his murder. And some recent developments have come out from today. So we go first with First Coast News. This is from Ed, right in Jacksonville, Florida, for the latest.
Potential jurors should be vaccinated and prosecutors need to start working. That is according to several motions filed this week in the case against the three men charged with murdering Ahmad Arbery. 25-year-old Arbery was shot to death on a suburban Georgia street last February. In one motion, the attorney for one of the defendants, William Roddy Bryan, accused Georgia prosecutors of deliberately dragging out their investigation. He also asked the judge to proactively help potential jurors get vaccinated and to set a date for jury selection as soon as possible. Unlike the other two defendants, Bryan invoked his right to a speedy trial. All three men have pleaded not guilty.
New to notify.
Now, I'm going to pause that for a minute. We're going to hold on.
Situation.
We're going to talk about Urben Meyer a little bit later, but let me stop the screen on that one. Now, that's the first bit of news in this case. They filed a motion for a speedy trial in this matter. William Roddy Bryan's lawyer filed a motion for a speedy trial, which is his right under the Sixth Amendment. You have a right to, fair and impartial jury, trial by jury, confront your witnesses, have witnesses testify on your behalf, effective assistance of counsel, and of course, you're entitled to a quick, speedy trial as well as a public trial. So this is just part of that article, but there were other motions that were filed recently, and this is coming from the Atlanta Black Star, shout out to them. There was a request by Travis Mcmichael's lawyer to have photographic evidence excluded from trial. Mcmichael's attorneys filed what's called a motion in limine at his upcoming trial not to include a photograph that shows Mcmichael's white Ford truck. Now, what's important about Michael's Ford truck is that the vehicle displays a vanity license plate styled after Georgia's state flag from 1956 to 2001. And we know the Georgia state flag, especially had the emblem of the Confederacies. So that was part of the Georgia state flag from 1956 to 2001. They featured the Confederate flag emblem, and his vehicle, his vanity plate, and at the front of his truck was featured this very emblem. His license plate was styled that way. So lawyers for Mcmichael claimed that the photo was not relevant and it's prejudicial. Court documents viewed by Atlanta Black Star earlier. However, prosecutors filed a motion arguing the photo's relevance, noting that the fact that this vanity plate was on the front of the pickup truck on February 23rd, 2020, are intrinsic evidence in the case and can be fully used by the state to illustrate Travis Mcmichael. The prosecutors asked the court to deny Mcmichael's claim, and the court did, to my explanation, did deny this claim. In a separate motion, the state asked the court to deny a request from Mcmichael, who was seeking to ban police body camera footage following the shooting that showed him admitting to a responding officer at the scene of the crime that he had shot Ahmad Arbor. That footage, of course, according to court documents, the footage belonged to, or the body camera footage was shot by Officer Duggan. And we see those videos actually came out before in the preliminary hearings where the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the GBI, were even testifying at that preliminary hearing. And they released those cameras, that footage even to the public, where you saw Mcmichael after he had killed Ahmad Arbor talking to his father and the police arriving on scene at that point. So this was a motion filed by the state, as I'm going to pull that up so you all can see what the state had filed. And, well, that's their right, Vulcan, to plead not guilty. Whether we like it or not, there's procedures that we have, of course, in this state. And people are presumed innocent until proven guilty, although that videotape was what it was. You know, it was self-explanatory from what I saw. But yes, they have a right in motion, a right to a fair trial. They have a right to all of that. You know, I'm speaking as a lawyer. Can anybody see the screen, or is it a little hard for everyone? Do I need to zoom in more? So they filed this motion. The state filed the response to the defendant's motion in limine. So what they do before trial starts, they file all types of different motions to get things thrown out. And a motion in limine is essentially a motion to throw out highly prejudicial evidence that could impact your client's case. So that's what they're doing here. And I doubt that the judge, so far this judge has been straightforward in denying claims by the defense, including denying the defense's request to ban photograph of his Confederate license plate, because it goes to show the state's motive, in the state's case in chief, the motive and intent behind Ahmad Arbery's shooting. And I doubt that the judge is going to throw this out, because if you look at this paragraph, the second paragraph, the body cam footage of video also shows the defendant's interactions with each other at the scene prior to being interviewed by law enforcement. Officer Dugan's body cam video then shows the condition that the defendants left Mr. Arbery in the roadway after shooting him with their shotgun. The purported defense in this case is self-defense. The video shows the clothing of Mr. Arbor and the lack of any weapon. The nature and extent of Mr. Arbor's injuries at the scene, contemporaneous and in the aftermath of the shooting, are relevant to rebut this contention of self-defense and go to explain Travis Mcmichael's demeanor in the aftermath of the homicide. The state requests that this motion to limit the Duggan body cam video be denied. This was submitted on October 1st, 2021. You can see they filed it. These are the state attorneys that are representing the state: Linda Dunikowski, Larissa Olivier, and Paul Camarillo. You also have, now you know they're district attorney pro temp. That means that they are coming in on a temporary basis just for this matter, because we remember how those DAs out there, especially that female DA, that Johnson woman, was arrested for a failure to do her duties as a prosecutor. Y'all remember when that happened, and they kicked the bucket to different prosecutors to handle this matter, and none of them wanted it. Jackie Johnson was that DA's name. Yes, that's her name. So we'll find out what happens more, but you know, the video, of course, everybody who has seen the video knows that it's self-explanatory. They followed this man thinking that he was a burglar, and there's video evidence that shows otherwise, that he did not steal anything out of any home. He was followed, and essentially even they admitted to blocking him in. Or they found evidence that this Brian character who was there was not as innocent as he claimed to be. Vulcan 250 Soulful. Vulcan 250 Full says that's true, but the fact that they're doing all this basically proves their guilt. Well, what we saw in the video, and I get I get all of the stuff about, you know, due process and innocence until proven guilty, but the video itself showed Mr. Arbor being hunted. To my opinion, I can give my opinion, and that's my opinion from what I'm looking at. This man was hunted down. And remember, even with this Travis Mcmichael, the GBI even stated that he was caught calling Arbor a nigger. He testified to that at the preliminary hearing. All of this came out. Wasn't at trial, and he hasn't been tried yet. But all of this came out. Hold on, let's see if I can pull up the video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. We're going in on this one right quick. I found it right here.
Particular quote that Travis Mcmichael stated on the crime scene that was overheard by one of the defendants and shared with investigators prior to police arriving, correct?
That's correct, yes, sir.
And though this may be an uncomfortable conversation for the benefit of the court and for the record, we're making it clear that this is not your quote. It's not the GBI's quote. This is a quote from a statement of Mr. Bryan as to what he heard Travis Mcmichael say prior to police arriving, correct?
Very much so, yes, sir.
Understanding that and understanding that it might be a little uncomfortable to talk about the words because it involves a curse word and something else, I need to ask you about that quote. Can you please articulate for the court what Mr. Bryan said he heard Travis McMichael say prior to police arriving and after the fatal shooting?
Yes. Mr. Bryan said that after the shooting took place, before police arrival, while Mr. Aubrey was on the ground, that he heard Travis McMichael make the statement.
We have a plan. We have the tools. We're using them. We're making progress.
Oh, I didn't want Biden on here. But yes, according to, so it was William Bryan, Rowdy Bryan, who was following the McMichaels in that pickup truck. And I said he was not as innocent as you thought, because remember they had him going on CNN with Andrew Cuomo talking about his role in it. And of course, his defense attorney, and being a defense attorney, was doing his job trying to say that he was a witness and nothing more. But even the GBI said that wasn't the case. He was following him and even hit Ahmad Arbor with his truck, according to the forensic evidence that they claim to have. I say allegedly. I'll say there's the benefit of the doubt, allegedly. And he gave this statement to the authorities, according to this man's testimony. According to this man's testimony, he gave the statement that Bryan overheard Travis McMichael be called a fucking nigger. And the actual quote says here, this is Richard, the man who was testifying, the guy that looks like Moby here. His name is Richard Dial. Mr. Dial is the special agent of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI. And he said William Bryan told his office in an interview last month that Travis McMichael uttered the slur as Ahmad Arbery lay dying from shotgun wounds on February 23rd, 2020. My emphasis. Bryan and McMichael are both defendants in this case. The chief magistrate, by the way, in that matter is Judge Wallace Harrell, who said probable cause existed and the case should go to trial. That's what happens at a preliminary hearing. Mr. Bryan said that after the shooting took place, before police arrival, while Mr. Arbor was on the ground, that he heard Travis McMichael make the statement, fucking nigger. Now you see why, when you see this, and I'm pulling it all in together, why the state is now wants that piece of evidence in regards to that Confederate license plate, that vanity plate that your Travis McMichael owns. And that was because they want to show motive and intent, that this is a person who has a disdain for Black Americans, and that Ahmaud Arbery was the victim of a hate crime. Now, bear in mind also, Travis McMichael, Gregory McMichael, and William Rowdy Bryan are also facing federal civil rights charges in this matter. So you see these several motions that are in place, and I'm gonna play for you. I don't know if this is gonna play the whole video, but this is coming from Atlanta Black Star, and I better be careful. I should say fair use. All the videos that were shared, if someone could put that fair use disclaimer in here for me, that would be great. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well when we go live. But here we go. This is the actual footage. I'm sorry, it is graphic. I don't know, but this is a graphic piece of footage, ladies and gentlemen. It's not for the weak of heart. Okay, so there was an error. We're going to try and replay that. I'm trying to see what the video pertains to. This is courtesy of Atlanta Black Star. Jesus. I apologize, Rashana. I did not know that they were going to. I thought that part would have been blurred out when they showed that, but I hated seeing it too. Let me stop. Hold on. No. Okay, so this is an old video. I apologize. This is an old video. Now, this is George Barnhill. He was the other district attorney from in the Waycross County. I believe that's not where Ahmad was killed. Ahmad was in Glenn County, but he's in Waycross. I guess that's the neighboring district. Remember, Jackie Johnson kicked the case, so then it was assigned to him, and this is the letter he wrote. Basically saying why the Mcmichaels should not be charged. Now look how he writes this. It appears Travis Mcmichael, Greg Mcmichael, and Brian William were following in hot pursuit a burglary suspect with solid first-hand probable cause in their neighborhood and telling him to stop. It appears their intent was to stop and hold this criminal suspect until law enforcement arrived. Under Georgia law, this is perfectly legal. A private person may arrest an offender if the offense is committed in his presence or within his immediate knowledge. If the offense is a felony and the offender is escaping or attempting to escape, a private person may arrest him upon reasonable and probable grounds of suspicion. There's only one problem with this law and the way they're applying it. Neither Travis Mcmichael nor Gregory McMichael or William Rodney Bryan saw Mr. Ahmad Arbor commit any felony. They believed he was involved in a previous burglary attempt sometime prior. They, however, did not have any knowledge that he committed any burglary. They saw him leaving a house which was being constructed, where it had some construction work going on. It was being renovated. They did not know he had committed a crime. So how are they going to acknowledge this and say that they saw? But look how this man is writing this. Now, this is the district attorney. And he sounds more like he should be a defense attorney, does he not? Now, I'm going to finish the video and we're going to get to our next topic, but I'm going to finish playing the video out. Fair use. It's being used for commentary and news purposes only. that was video from Black Star, Atlanta Black Star. We're gonna move on to the next topic. I want to get through with everything. I got some stuff to do, but we'll be monitoring it. But that was the latest from Atlanta Black Star. We're gonna monitor this Ahmad Arbor situation, this Mcmichael trial, because it's Mcmichael and Brian who are on trial. Ahmad Arbor is not on trial, but we'll let you all know what more to follow up on as we continue our coverage on this matter. So next thing I want to talk about is this. Biden administration cuts HBCU funding. Now, how many of you have seen or heard this news that came out? It came out earlier this week that the Biden administration was cutting funding to historically black colleges and universities. Now, this is coming from Black Enterprise News. HBCUs that were looking to get their share of $45 billion in funding as part of Joe Biden's spending plan may see less than $5 billion due to Democratic infighting. Biden's $3.5 trillion spending bill was set to include $45 billion in spending for HBCUs and other minority-serving institutions. However, the newest now hold on, that's the latest. That's new. I'm just looking at this. I've never heard of minority-serving institutions. I never heard that term until I just saw this. So now it's HB. So you have that intersectionality, HBCUs, and now we're going to bring on MSIs. Never heard of it, that phrase. Oh, well, we got to talk about that too. Tina Turner selling her entire catalog that popped up. That's something interesting. But $3.5 trillion spending bill was going to include a $45 billion in spending for HBCUs. However, the newest version of the bill allocated just $2 billion for educational programs and HBCUs. Even worse, the funding could be changed, now listen to this, into competitive grant funding instead of direct funding to the schools. The aid currently penciled in at $1.45 billion to be distributed between 2022 and 2026 is much less than HBCUs anticipated, putting Biden at odds with the group that propelled him to the White House. Paul Jones, the president of Fort Valley State University and vice chair of the Council of 1890 President, stated the number is just significantly lower than what we had hoped for. Along with the minority-serving institutions and the Hispanic-serving institutions, y'all see that kumbaya stuff ain't really working out? It's really sort of lumping us all into this one sector when we all have tremendous needs. HBCUs have been underfunded for decades through institutionalized racism and the federal government's extreme unwillingness to help them. Last summer, HBCU schools received millions in donations from Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos. Additionally, a bevy of companies, including the tech, banking, and retail industries, also donated money for HBCU programs and initiatives. Several HBCUs have also sued the states they reside in. Coppin State University, Bowie State University, Morgan State University, and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore sued the state of Maryland in a federal lawsuit alleging discrimination and underfunding of HBCUs in 2006. After pushing back for more than a decade, the state agreed to a $577 million settlement this spring. Roderick L. Smothers, president of Philander Smith College in Arkansas, told Newsweek that the federal funds the school received during the coronavirus pandemic was paramount in helping the school survive the pandemic, as well as implementing technology upgrades and student support. We use the funds that we receive to serve the students that we have, and now we're asking for additional funds to make sure that when we are on the right side of this other side of this global pandemic, our institutions will be bigger and better and more resilient. Now, I'm not going to read much further, but I got a question for everybody, especially those that propelled Joe Biden in the White House. I got to ask y'all this. Where are you at now? On Twitter, on Facebook? You see this? Hold on. The Chucks and Pearls. All on my timeline on Facebook and Twitter. This is all we saw. We're going to support Vice President Kamala with the Chuck and Pearls. Yeah, you go on, girl. Mm-hmm. You voted blindly, and you've got nothing. This is what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you vote blindly and ask for nothing in return for your vote. What did Jim Clyburn say after Biden got elected? He said, I don't care if you do anything for anybody. I just want my children and grandchildren to be okay. The ski-wee, the AKAs, the Deltas, where y'all at? The cutie pies. Cutie pie, and you're the reason why. Where y'all at? Where are the Negroes that got on me on Twitter when I called out people for comparing Kamala Harris to Rosa Parks and Ruby Bridges? You were upset with me, but y'all asses are silent tonight. Biden was supposed to be much better than Trump. Hell, Trump at least signed bills that were unlimited, that granted unlimited funding to HBCUs. You see, something that you guys don't understand, most people don't know this, but in reality, a lot of Republican presidents have actually signed executive orders and bills to increase funding for HBCUs. And I think it has a lot to do with them, wanting to build on education. Not to say that they really believe that and what they're doing. No, I wouldn't say that. What can they explain? They can't explain nothing. They cannot explain nothing. And so to my point is, they've done a lot of funding or approved a lot of unlimited funding for HBCUs, even those that are bad. It's a strange, there was an article I read, I can't think of it, but there's a strange relationship between Republican presidents and HBCUs. Something about it. And HBCUs, and Dr. Claude Anderson was talking about this earlier on Voice Watching Show, they are underfunded, but they also lack support from their alumni. When you look at, for instance, your college game day football, you notice, of course, ESPN is either at in Death Valley here at LSU, or they're in Death Valley for Clemson. They're in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for Alabama, or Florida for the Florida Gators, wherever they Gainesville, Florida, wherever they are. They're there. You see all of the students cheering them on, and you see the the recruits that go to these HBCUs. They get a lot of funding. They get support from the alumni, and a lot of our HBCUs don't get that support. They are strapped for cash. And that's why we see them always begging and asking for money, always begging for money. That's part of it. That's a part of it. There are other reasons as well I won't get into, but you guys may figure it out. They don't give back, and they don't give back, but alumni don't support. I mean, here's the way a lot of people look at it. When I graduate from my school, I've already donated to you all because technically I'm spending all of my money. I'm paying back all of this money that I got for education. I have to repay all this stuff back. So why should I be giving back to you? We have some people that have that mindset. Well, HBCUs, yes, I did. I attended HBCU. I attended Southern University and Southern Law Center. I did. And funny enough, HBCUs were created, are named after, like your Howard University, they were named after white folks. Howard University is one of them. Xavier University was founded by a saint, Catherine Drexel. She started Blessed Sacrament. But she created Xavier University. She created those institutions specifically to educate Black Americans and Native Americans, because at that time in this area, it was predominantly, there at one point, a lot of people forget this, during slavery, Blacks actually outnumbered whites in this country, especially after the Civil War. And what you saw transpired, they actually, Spelman, they actually, damn, I forgot what I was saying. But I was saying, I think I was left off that, whites, they create, I was saying Catherine Drexel created Xavier for Black and Native American people. You have Howard University was named after a Union soldier, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of people don't know all of this stuff. But Chucks and Pearls, and hey, look, that's your vice president. Now, she went to Howard University. Kamala Harris went to Howard. What does that matter now if the administration that she's a part of is cutting your legs off? They're cutting your legs off, and you are allowing it. We can't make this stuff up. Yeah, Deion Sanders, when he went in on the SWAC saying they can't even afford to put players' names on the jerseys, yes, that's correct. And what Prime is doing, though, is he's actually done something great for Jackson State in that he has brought attention now, national attention, to HBCUs, being that he is a Hall of Fame cornerback, one of the greatest football players of all time, to me, the best cornerback to ever play the game, though he couldn't tackle. But he could cover like a mug. But to have Deion Sanders as the coach of your Jackson State University, that brought attention to the school and to the SWAC. But I remember even before that, we talk about the SWAC. Look at what happened with Grambling a few years ago when the students boycotted playing football for Grambling back in 2015 because the conditions in the locker room were so horrible. They didn't have working benches. When Doug Williams was trying to put and fix that whole locker room up and he got fired. They didn't have working benches. They had tile missing on the floor. There was mold. Things were infested. He was trying to help, and they fired him. And so the students protested. The football team protested. They didn't show up for the game. They forfeited. That was in 2013. I'm sorry, I said 2015. They skipped practice and team meetings. It's not the same when Eddie Robinson was there. Coach Robinson wouldn't have tolerated stuff like this. I'm sure of it. Neither would Pete Richardson, coach of Southern. Not A.M. Mumford. None of them would have tolerated stuff like this. Well, look at this. This is a report from 2011. This is Atlanta Daily World. They stated that, as Deadspin outlined, funding for higher education in the state of Louisiana has taken a major hit, and the effect on Grambling was severe. But the root of the problems go much deeper. In 2009, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal turned down stimulus money from the federal government. That same year, Jindal cut $219 million in state funds for higher education, including $5 million that would have been earmarked for Grambling. In 2012, Jindal announced an additional mid-year budget cut of $50 million for higher education, with Grambling losing out on nearly $1 million of that total. This is not chump change. Now, I'm not just picking on Grambling just because I'm a Jaguar, but I wanted to point this out to y'all. Now, you see how they undercut funding for HBC, how it impacts us, especially when they cut education. It's impacting the state. It's impacting, obviously, not to say that LSU, those in an institution like LSU won't get impacted in some way. They will, but they have the alumni to support them. They have the means to do that. Whereas you look at a Grambling, they don't have that luxury. They didn't have this luxury in 2013. And they had to cut funding from their athletics department. But look what the team's frustrations were. They were frustrated over the fact that they were taking a bus ride to distant locations like Kansas City and Indianapolis. They weren't receiving meals on road trips, and they felt they were disrespected. So they protested. I mean, when I was on Southern's campus, and I'm not going to lie to you, especially when I was there back in 2006, when I lived in Moore Hall, anybody that went to Southern knows that we had problems in there too. The plumbing, I remember the water not working. We had to stand knee high in a bathtub to take a shower, and the water was grimy. I mean, it was bad. It was dilapidated. But the Chucks and Pearls crowd, you've said nothing as of yet. They've been silent. I read that Biden's approval rating has dropped at least 55%. It was reported, found this administration to be incompetent in running the country. But when I was on Judge Joe Brown's program, it was disturbing to hear that 67% of people in the Black community think he's doing a great job. I'm like, are you kidding? Yeah, I know about Bethune, Toddy, Bowley. Bowley Hall, yeah. Now they've made recent developments, but you see, that doesn't happen at white institutions. And with the recruiting aspect of it all, especially when it comes to the football teams, the reason why our black children are going to the predominantly white schools is that those schools, let's face it, they get on primetime television. LSU versus Auburn, that was on ESPN. Our HBCUs don't have that clout anymore, although they've started to get back. I know they're on ESPN Plus. They'll watch the game, but ESPN Plus is not ESPN. We had the Bayou Classic, of course. That's probably the biggest event that HBCUs have. Of course, they have the SWAC championships, but people mainly watch that Bayou Classic because that was on NBC. Well, NBC took it off and put it on NBC Sports, another channel. I know about that. I wasn't going to get into that topic, but yes, that's part of it. That's another part of it. Corruption, embezzlement. Very interesting story. I actually learned, I guess I could share this, although this is firsthand info. This is not, I've heard it from someone that worked, a very reliable source, very interesting. Our beloved elder Bill Cosby, I don't know if I should say this, but he was all into giving into HBCUs and still does. And despite his monies that he has given, you still see, I know he has given like $25 million to Spelman. Of course, none of those schools, after the allegations, they were talking all this stuff about revoking his honorary doctorates and degrees that he had, his diplomas. They did not give back the money. But, we need other people outside of that. It's not just going to take celebrities like Bill Cosby to fund. We need the states to fund these. But yes, a lot of it is that we have corruption, you have embezzlement, you have nepotism as well. That's part of a problem. And you're dealing with racist lawmakers who don't give a damn about black colleges. That's just the truth too. Yeah, I had heard Bill Cosby actually wanted to give monies to my beloved alma mater, and he wanted the money earmarked. Yes, Danielle. He wanted the money earmarked to go to, where it was going to go, which is his right. You got to think about it. He's spending his money, giving it to an institution. And if it's his money, he should ask where it's going to go. He has a right to demand that. And he wanted to see where it was going to go. He wanted to basically see the books. They refused to do so. And Southern is a state school. It is the only historically black college and university system in the United States, the only system. It's the largest. And yeah, he wanted to see where the money was going, and they refused to do so. Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff that happened. Even when I was in the law center, we had an employee that she had to resign because she was withholding our refund checks. She was withholding almost $1 million in money. I won't get into all of it because I don't have that information, and I don't have the exact article, but I remember reading it. I remember when this stuff happened. That is true too. There's a lot of incompetence in these schools that hinder us. And most of these HBCUs now are turning white. I know even at the law center where I was teaching, and even at one point, and even when I was a student, we had a large influx of white students. And, the reason why most of them go to a Southern University Law Center is because it's cost affordable. You have some historically black colleges now. I know they got one up in Virginia, I believe. It's now predominantly white. So we have all of that going on. But we're going to continue monitoring this. But they've been silent. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and donate to the Cash App if you like what you hear. What's up, Black Spider? She says, I love me some random topics. Hope your dad is doing well. He's so sweet. Sean James is so cool, so black, so laid back. Real love hearing his input. Yeah, Sean is good. So let me get on to my next topic because I run out of here. This is some lighter news, ladies and gentlemen. Urban Meyer embraces the grind. Now, those of you who don't know, Urban Meyer is the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If anybody, of course, everybody knows who the Jacksonville Jaguars are. That's why you avoid watching them on Sundays. And this happened earlier in the week, last week, where your Urban Meyer, he tells his players not to be the center of controversy and avoid being a distraction. But he had the unfortunate opportunity of being that distraction this past week as he was photographed or videotaped inside his bar in Ohio, where this video took place. This happened a couple of days ago. So you all can see it right here.
Despite the Jaguars not playing today, the team's coach is still making headlines. News4Jax sports anchor Cole Pepper joins us. Cole, Urban Meyer is getting a lot of unwanted attention.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And it's all because of a 7-second video that was posted to social media last night showing Meyer at what appears to be the Urban Meyer Chop House in Columbus, Ohio. This video of Meyer, apparently taken at his restaurant in Columbus, shows a woman, not his wife, getting up close and personal. The video has been viewed over 500,000 times on Twitter alone. The Jaguars say that they will have no comment on the video today.
Jaguars owner Shad Khan says Coach Urban Meyer's actions at an Ohio bar over the weekend were inexcusable. Meyer was seen on video that's now gone viral, showing a woman who's not his wife dancing up against him. News4Jax reporter Scott Johnson joining us in the newsroom. Scott, Shad Khan seems to be sticking with and sticking by Urban Meyer.
That's what his statement says, Ken. Khan was one of the part of this story that we hadn't really heard from since the controversy played out over the weekend and then into yesterday. But now the team owner is speaking up. This morning, Shad Khan responding to the now viral video of Urban Meyer and a woman at an Ohio bar. This statement from Khan: I have addressed this matter with Urban. Specifics of our conversation will be held in confidence. What I will say is his conduct last weekend was inexcusable. I appreciate Urban's remorse, which I believe is sincere. Now he must regain our trust and respect. That will require a personal commitment from Urban to everyone who supports, represents, or plays for our team. I am confident he will deliver. But that statement may not quiet all of Meyer's critics, who are now sounding off nationally, like this clip from ESPN.
And the coach is the exact wrong reason why they in the news. I played football 9 years in the NFL. Every head coach I ever had said, don't be the guy to take focus off of what we're doing as a football team as we try to win games.
I talked locally to Hayes Carline. He's the Jaguars beat reporter for 1010XL Radio. Carline says the real issue Khan will be concerned about is the effect this video will have on his players.
Do you think this has a shelf life? Do you think it goes away in a week? Or do you think it lingers?
I think it lingers because I think Urban Meyer now has a real concern over can he lead this team. He voiced that concern yesterday when he was asked about it. And he said, yes, I'm concerned about my ability to lead this team.
Another criticism of Meyer is that he didn't return with the team to Jacksonville after their loss to Cincinnati. A lot of pundits and ex-players nationally have said that's unusual. Coming up at 6, I'll talk with a sports and entertainment lawyer about whether the Jaguars and Meyer could eventually part ways if this controversy doesn't die down, and how money would come into play for both Meyer and the Jags. Mary, back to you.
Well, don't worry, the Jaguars still suck. But hey, at least somebody from the Jaguars scored. Man, Urban was trying to get his quarterback sneak on. Looks like the Jaguars finally found a tight end that can catch balls. So, damn. And you know, of course, would they be saying this if I got the sun in my eye, but would they be saying this if Urban Meyer, you think about this, Urban Meyer is 4-0 right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars and they're on a roll. Would anybody care about this? Probably not. They would probably talk about it, but I don't think they would talk about it for a long time. I honestly don't. And, you know, that's not his wife, which was an issue, I guess. And from what I'm hearing, you know, he was actually supposed to be there with the grandkids, according to what was reported. Now, of course, Yassa boss, Stephen A. Smith, was I guess Stephen's been going down. It's been going downhill for Stephen ever since Max Kellerman got kicked off First Take. He wanted Max Kellerman gone, and their ratings have even tanked further. I doubt if this were a black man, Stephen A. Smith would have been defending Urban Meyer the way that he does. And he defended him, and he attacked his colleagues. He disagreed with his colleagues about the issue on ESPN's First Take. Although he did, for some clarity, he did state that it was explained that it was a culmination of issues why you saw Marquise Spears and Daniel Orlovsky condemning Urban Meyer. It was a combination of things. It wasn't just that video. It was, you know, not going with the team when after they lost, you know, just the bad record. You know, it doesn't seem like he's interested in winning, and he's been criticized for that. So Jacksonville Jaguars still suck. But this was actual, let me stop it here. Hold on. So, well, Stephen A. Smith has always been cooning. You know, he was somebody I respected at one point until I saw him in that video where he went, where he got suspended by that girl for saying stuff about how women need to be careful when they fool around with men. And
Teddy, thank you. Thousands of residents.
He got suspended.
Everyone, and breaking right now, learning more about a tragedy in the Lake Forest part of town.
Hold on. He got suspended for that. And, you know, Stephen A. Smith was apologetic to women about, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. And remember when Michelle Beadle attacked him, where she violated company policy, but she didn't get suspended. He did.
Well, over the weekend, one of the biggest viral videos on the internet featured Jacksonville's very own coach, Urban Meyer. He was seen dancing in close contact with a woman. I'm trying to find the actual video. Wife. Let's head over to sports director Chris Porter. So, Chris, this is exactly
Meyer's
what
press
Coach
conference.
Meyer did not.
Yeah, the situation comes at a time when Urban Meyer has started his NFL career 0-4, and when questions have already begun to swirl as to whether Meyer can handle this kind of repeated adversity. Today, Coach Meyer was saying, "I'm sorry."
Explain the viral video from your place.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just apologize to the team and the staff for being a distraction. It's stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and, just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position.
For the first time since this video surfaced of Urban Meyer and a woman who is not his wife hanging out in Ohio, the coach
No, he wanted to be in a doggy style position. His position should have been in the hotel room.
with reporters. Meyer said he had gone out to dinner with his grandkids when some people from a party nearby asked for a photo and then kept asking him to dance.
Trying to pull me out on a dance floor, screwing around, and I should have left.
He did not leave, and his family was not happy about it.
Yeah, that's not me, and that's, oh yeah, they're upset.
Meyer says he met with his players
I'm
Monday
sure
morning.
they are.
I spoke to a bunch of leaders one-on-one, spoke to all the players. They're good. They were focused on Tennessee, and I apologized again for being a distraction. And coach should not be a distraction.
They asked the coach, he forgot to leave out that they asked the coach, could he bring some of those girls back to Jacksonville with him?
Have you talked to Shad Khan about it, and what was that conversation like?
I did talk to Shad, and very supportive, and Trent, I talked to him obviously at length right when I got that phone call that night.
Meyer also admitted he's concerned that the situation could undermine his ability to lead the team.
I have a very good relationship with our players. I've dealt with this, not on the other side, but with staff members and with other things, and I've dealt with it. So to say I'm concerned, yeah, I am concerned, but I just got to, do right.
Now, Urban Meyer has found himself under a lot of scrutiny his rookie year. First, the hiring of ex-Iowa strength coach Chris Dole, who is an accused racist. Then Meyer was one of 3 head coaches fined for organized team activity violations. And not pictured here, the NFL Players Association launched an investigation following Meyer's admission that vaccination status factored into the team's roster decisions. And now that viral video of Meyer and a woman who is not his wife at a restaurant in Ohio. As for on-the-field news, the Jaguars are at home this weekend hosting the hated Tennessee Titans. Coming up tonight, all new at 6, Urban talks about how the AFC South Division is still up for grabs.
Yeah, the AFC South sucks. The only thing worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars is the AFC South. Well, the players, yeah, they do the same things. They go out with girls, and party and so forth. That's part of the culture. I think the issue for him is that he left after a football game, Queen. So he didn't fly with them. Oh, if he was a black coach, he would have been fired already, no doubt. And Urban Meyer, remember when he was at Ohio State and there was a fallout over some Me Too stuff because one of his assistant coaches was accused of domestic violence and didn't do anything, didn't suspend him or report him, although he's not the police. And I actually defended him in that. But he says not to be a distraction, and so it's how your players are looking at you that's the issue. Now, please let me put the actual fair use description in, because I don't want to mess. I don't know if I should share what Stephen A. Smith had to say, but I don't want to share the video. I probably won't do it, but Stephen A. Smith says that Urban Meyer should not be fired for his job. He says that Urban Meyer should not be fired because of the viral video that resurfaced last week. So I won't share it. I don't want to get in trouble and get a copyright strike from Disney. But what do y'all think of this? What say the room? What do y'all think of this? Freaky deaky. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. Urban baby. He made it clap. He made it clap. He make it clap. So what do y'all think about this? Do you think Urben Meyer is going to survive from it? Do y'all think he'll, I guess, get another job? Do you think he's going to be fired before the end of the season? I think he should go, he should not be fired. I think he should go 0-16, finish his 0-16 record with the Jaguars, and then be fired. But we're going to go ahead. I'm going to wrap this up because I got to actually get out of here. But I'm glad that we were able to come on early and do this broadcast with y'all. Subscribe to the channel. Donate to the Cash App if you have not. Hold on a second. Let me stop the camera. Yeah, I remember that. He let Tim Tebow play, but not. They let Tim Tebow play, but not Colin Kaepernick. Of course, he has. I mean, Kaepernick has already been out of the league already, but some of you saying they're not going to fire him. Queen Conscious said he's not going to be fired. I think he will. That Doyle guy, they said, was a racist that he has in his employ, alleged racist, Chris Doyle. It's the first time I've heard about that. Oh, so yeah, this Chris Doyle was fired. It looks like in a hurry. Back at Ohio, is this in Ohio State? But this was back in March of 2021. Yeah, so when he came on board to join the Jacksonville Jaguars, he hired Doyle immediately, and they complained about it. And there were allegations that he was a racist, made racist remarks, belittling and bullying players during his 22 years as a strength coach at the University of Iowa. So I see what they're talking about here. That's on ESPN. Excuse me. Yeah. This is the Charles Doyle guy he hired. This is about Charles Doyle. So I'm going to put that link in the description box. But let me go ahead. So that's Charles Doyle. In the picture, it looks like, oh, look what he's wearing. Doesn't mean anything, but I typically see that from our people on the far, far right. All right, but that's all I want to share for y'all tonight, man. So y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe. If you like what you hear, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this channel, I appreciate it. Please donate to the Cash App. You see it at the bottom, Gavin Richard Esquire. We're going to go ahead and I want you to, if you like, subscribe to the Patreon. It's the same as this channel, Gbutu786. We have somewhere around almost 40 people on Facebook, on Gavin Richard, my other YouTube channel, my backup, and Gbutu786. I want to also take, someone asked a question, I think it may have been Black Voltron, I could be mistaken, if those prosecutors in Georgia could be charged with a RICO statute. Probably not. Of course, after the way they did this Mann Act and RICO statute on R. Kelly, who knows? You can use anything now on anybody. But, you know, that's just, but that's just me talking. That's just my opinion. So you guys let me know what you think of this, what's going on. Okay. So yeah, you guys be safe and be blessed. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Yeah, NawniesCreoleBlends.com. That is the name of the seasoning. Sorry about not coming back on screen. Nawnies Creole Blends, that's a seasoning. Try it on chicken, meat, or fish. Nawnies goes great with every dish. We also have, to answer your question, computer robots, of course, Harvey and I. Harvey's always welcome to come back on the channel. I might do another live stream with him if he is up to it. I actually asked him to come on today, but he wasn't able to. But he's free. We're also, that's the website for the seasoning. We also, what else we have? Check out, of course, our songs. We have Gotta Get On Up, which is available on Apple Music and Spotify. We also have Video Soul, which is available on Apple, iTunes, Spotify. But, of course, as we gotten on down, we got to get on up. So we're about to wrap this thing up, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all for tuning in. And I will see you all in the next one. I'm glad you enjoyed this. And maybe I wish that only regret is that Urban and that girl who was dancing on him wasn't dancing to this song. So they should have. Other than that, I'd have been supporting them all day. Good night, everyone. Y'all take it easy.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, because on the dance floor is where we'll meet. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove.
Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the...
Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up. and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really grooving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up. Now, 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you breathe, then you achieve. And so, if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, it's time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up, baby. Yeah, gotta get on up. Come on, baby, gotta get on up, baby.
Feel the groove, get on the floor.
Get on up.
Hey, Coach, can you give me some of that cooch? Oh, sorry for being a distraction. Come on, let's go in. Coach, what about the cooch? Oh, great.